Christ.
Good morning again, dear brothers and sisters. Now let me tell you a joke. Of course, I'm sure that you have heard that joke. On one Sunday, after the Sunday Mass, a husband went back to his home. When he reached his home, he took out a bottle of alcohol, and he was starting to drink alcohol. And his wife saw that he was drinking alcohol. So the wife got angry, and the wife shouted at her husband by saying, "Why are you drinking alcohol? Don't you know that alcohol is your enemy?" The wife shouted at her husband in these words. And the husband, of course, with a smile, replied to his wife, "You know the homily of today by the priest. The priest in his homily said, 'Love your enemy.' That is why I love my enemy, so I am together with my enemy by drinking alcohol. I love my enemy." Is that a joke? I don't know. Well, dear brothers and sisters, today Jesus challenges us to love our enemies. Jesus not only says, love your God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, as well as love your neighbors as you love yourself. But Jesus today is challenging us, not only your neighbor, but also your enemies. Love your enemies. So my very short reflection for today is, love your enemy or enemies. I don't know how many number of enemies do you have. So dear brothers and sisters, do you have enemy? Brothers, sisters, do you have enemies? This is the first question we have to ask ourselves. I'm sure all of us have enemies. What kind of enemies? Maybe we might have also the personal enemies. What do you mean by the personal enemies? Those who are close to us, those who are in our family, those who are in our community. Sometimes they are our enemies. They are our personal enemies. So, dear brothers and sisters, let us start loving our personal enemies or close enemies. For example, I'm sure that sometimes husband and wife, they are enemy toward one another. Sometimes children and parents, they are enemies toward one another. So first, start loving your enemy within your own family. Not only we can go out to love our enemies outside our family or community members. So, brothers and sisters, it's really difficult to practice what Jesus challenges today. Love your enemy. Pray for those who curse you. Forgive those who mistreat you. Pray for them. It's really impossible for us because all of us, we are selfish. Because all of us, we are interested for our own goodness, for our own business. Well, dear brothers and sisters, what is the point when we come to the law, L-A-W, law? If someone threatens my life, do I still need to love him, that someone who threatens my life? Well, dear brothers and sisters, though take literally also, if there are kind of conditions which threatens human life, there is law which will condemn that, I don't know, that bad person or bad people. But from our part is that, look at the cross. Jesus, he loved his enemies here on earth by his forgiveness, patience, and understanding. We might say that, of course, he is God. I'm not God. Well, if we want to be followers of Christ, if we want to be children of Christ, we have to let go of what we don't like. We have to do what Jesus likes only. So it means that no revenge. No revenge. And also remember that we should not break the law. So while reflecting, while I was reflecting my homily, I was thinking of, I don't know if you don't like what I'm going to say, that in my imagination, how good is it if China and US, they love one another? How good is it if all the nations, all the leaders of the world, they love one another? How good is it? So good. We are in peace. We will not be under the threat of war. So dear brothers and sisters, not only love our neighbors, but also love our enemies, so that the world will be in peace. The world is in peace. It is what God wants us to do. God bless us all.